You delete them, you block them, you unsubscribe from them, and somehow, unwanted emails still keep coming back. For something almost everyone hates, spam emails seem nearly impossible to eliminate. But the real question is, why? Why can't tech companies simply stop them for good? Today we're exploring the strange history, hidden economics, and non-stop technological battle behind junk email, right here on History of Simple Things. Spam email feels like a modern annoyance, but it actually dates back surprisingly far. The very first known spam email was sent in 1978. At the time, the internet wasn't even public yet. It was still a tiny network mostly used by universities, researchers, and government institutions. A marketing employee at a computer company decided to send a promotional message to hundreds of users at once. Many recipients were furious, not because the message was dangerous, but because it felt intrusive. The internet was supposed to be useful and cooperative, not filled with advertisements. Even then, people recognized something important. Once mass messaging became cheap, abuse would inevitably follow. And that prediction turned out to be painfully accurate. As the internet expanded in the 1990s, email became one of the easiest ways to reach people instantly. Businesses loved it, users loved it, but scammers and opportunists loved it even more. Because unlike physical junk mail, email cost almost nothing to send. A traditional advertisement required paper, ink, transportation, and postage. Sending 1 million physical letters would cost a fortune. But sending 1 million emails, practically free. That single difference changed everything. This is the frustrating truth most people overlook. Spam survives because, statistically, it succeeds often enough. Even if only 1 out of 1 million people responds to a scam email, the sender may still profit. And since sending emails costs almost nothing, scammers don't need a high success rate. If only a tiny fraction of recipients fall for it, that can still generate thousands or even millions of dollars. To normal people, spam looks ridiculous. Bad grammar, obvious lies, suspicious links. But oddly enough, some scammers intentionally make their emails look absurd. Why? Because they want to filter out skeptical people immediately. If someone responds despite all the obvious warning signs, scammers know they may be easier to manipulate later. In a strange way, the poorly written email acts like a screening process. It's less about convincing everybody and more about finding the few who might believe it. At first glance, stopping spam seems simple. Why not just block suspicious messages automatically? Well, email systems already try to do that constantly. Modern email providers use incredibly advanced filtering systems powered by machine learning, behavioral analysis, sender reputation tracking, and massive databases of known scams. Every day, billions of unwanted emails are intercepted before users even see them. But the problem is that spam evolves extremely quickly. The moment filters improve, spammers change tactics. If certain phrases get blocked, they rewrite them. If suspicious links are detected, they create new websites. If one email address gets banned, they generate thousands more. It becomes an endless arms race. And there's another huge complication. Email itself was never originally designed with strong security in mind. The system was built during a more trusting era of the internet, when users were fewer and online crime barely existed. Many of the protections we rely on today had to be added later as patches and upgrades. One major reason spam remains difficult is because online identity is surprisingly fragile. In the physical world, sending millions of scam letters would require warehouses, printing presses, mailing systems, and traceable addresses. Online, a spammer can hide behind fake accounts, stolen servers, or compromised computers scattered across multiple countries. Sometimes criminals hijack ordinary people's devices using malware. These infected computers become part of what's called a botnet, a giant network of machines secretly controlled by attackers. The owners usually have no idea it's happening. Your laptop could literally help send spam while you're watching videos or checking social media. This makes tracking the real source incredibly difficult. Law enforcement may trace one spam campaign to servers in several different countries, each with different laws, regulations, and enforcement capabilities. And because the internet is global, criminals can operate from places where prosecution is unlikely. Another reason unwanted emails never fully disappear is because our email addresses spread constantly online. Every time you sign up for a website, download an app, join a giveaway, create an account, or enter a contest, there's a chance your information gets shared, sold, leaked, or stolen. Some companies legally sell marketing data. Others experience security breaches. And sometimes scammers simply scrape email addresses from public websites automatically. Over time, one email address can end up circulating through hundreds of databases. That's why older email accounts often attract far more spam than newly created ones. They've simply had more years to spread across the internet ecosystem. Your inbox slowly becomes part of a giant invisible marketplace of digital information. Ultimately, unwanted emails survive because email remains open and accessible. That openness is actually part of what made email revolutionary in the first place. Anyone can contact anyone else without needing permission from a central authority. But openness creates vulnerability. Completely eliminating spam would likely require making email far more restrictive, controlled, or difficult to use. And that could damage the freedom and simplicity that made email successful globally. So instead of eradicating spam completely, companies focus on managing it, filtering it, and minimizing harm. It's not a perfect solution, but it may be the only realistic one, because as long as sending messages remains cheap, global, and profitable for scammers, unwanted emails will probably continue finding ways into our inboxes. The battle against spam isn't really a war that ends. It's more like internet maintenance, a constant, invisible struggle happening every second behind the scenes of modern life. And the next time you delete a suspicious email in 2 seconds without thinking about it, remember, somewhere, enormous systems just worked incredibly hard to stop thousands more from reaching you in the first place. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.